Hello, welcome to Facebook Live and My Health Style. Thank you for joining us on our regular Tuesday 6:30 evenings Eastern Standard Time schedule. We are using Facebook Live specifically because we are a human to technology to human organization. We like to fondly call it H2H. So we are bringing humans through technology to humans to help you reach your health and wellness goals. So I want to thank you for joining us. I apologize in advance for the technology problems that we had a few minutes ago, but we recovered and we are moving forward. Every week at 6:30, we are typically hosting somebody for an interview, or we are talking about something that's important to us because it's important for you to know who we are and what our motivations and inspirations are, and then also how we think we can affect and help your overall wellness, well-being, and health. So tonight, hi, thank you for joining us. Again, apologies for the technology issues. Thank you for sticking it out. Tonight we're going to be talking about habits. And a habit is a routine behavior that is repeated regularly and is often tends to occur subconsciously because the repetition makes you not think about it anymore. So I want to tell you briefly a little story about me. It's not necessarily a positive story. Hi, Sue. Thank you for joining us. But it's a story that kind of laid a foundation for me and what brought me to creating My Health Style. So many years ago, about 25 years ago, I worked as an advertising executive, Madison Avenue style, doing brand marketing, direct marketing across all media that was available at the time. This was pre-internet. And one of my clients was RJ Reynolds. That would be Camel cigarettes. And they came to me with some new research. And again, I'm not proud of it, but at the time, smoking was very popular. And they had some new studies, some new research that said after 21 days, you could change somebody's habit. Now, don't nitpick with me at that time what habit meant, the psychological profile, flavor, habits, addiction, kind of all blurred lines. But at the time, they said 21 days, 3 weeks, you can change somebody. What can you do to bring more people to Smoke Joe Camel? So I was very inventive and came up with a program that had outstanding results. And their statistics were true. You change somebody's behavior after 21 days, or the repetition that they're doing after 21 days, you can sway their repetition to something else, whether it's a flavor, even if it's addiction related, it's still the habit. And that kind of started the foundation for me to become a behaviorist and understand better what motivates people. So terrible story, but I wanted to give you a little bit of background about me and, some history of where my motivations come from. So back to a habit. It is a behavior, and we're going to discuss a behavior in a separate segment that is repeated regularly. And that repetition makes you do things subconsciously or unconsciously, right? So imagine, if you will, that you are at a dinner table at home. And how do you unfold your napkin and put it in your lap? Have you ever thought about that? Well, you have a certain behavior and manner to do that. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought that maybe if you can sort of personalize this in a personal experience, if you were at a 5-star restaurant and you were now taking the napkin and putting it in your lap, would you do it differently than you do at home or at just a regular everyday restaurant? That's a little habit. The way you unfold it and put it in your lap is a little habit. But you don't think about it, right? Because you've done it so often, it's totally subconscious. But when you're under a different circumstance, you might become more aware. Like if you're at a 5-star restaurant, you might become more aware. So these are the things that my health style coaches sort of help you with. It's a little bit of mindfulness. It's a little bit of stepping down and slowing down and seeing what really is a habit. Because we want to help you stop with those subconscious behaviors that aren't making your life happy. Now, a habitual behavior often goes unnoticed, and we tend to group habitual behaviors into things that we just call a big habit. We group small habits. How you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth, your oral hygiene, your dental hygiene. We've grouped that into a routine, but that routine is not a habit. It is made up of singular habits that build into that routine. Are all of you kind of following me here, or am I making total nonsense? My overall point is to try to explain that a habit is a very, very small thing, tiny, minuscule. And these are the things that my health style coaches can help you identify and change. So do we have any questions, those of you that are joining us, on what I've said so far? Thank you, Carrie. And what I'm trying to get to, Carrie, is that sometimes when people have goals or they define something of a goal, they don't realize that it's made up of 200 habits. And then they don't accomplish that goal, right? So the label for tonight was, kind of habits that make us and break us. To me, it's what the definition of a habit is. When you can actually take time and think about a purchase habit, what you purchase. Why do you purchase a 5-pound bag of potatoes? Because you've been doing it forever, and maybe they become spuds with the little, they're growing and you throw them out or whatever, but you still keep purchasing that bag of potatoes. Well, when you see that bag of potatoes going bad, then you want to make mashed potatoes because you don't want to be wasteful, right? That would be the right thing to do. So this is what we try to help you do as health style coaches, is sort of figure out your environment and break the goals and the routines really down into the small habits, because that's really the best way to affect change. Now, why do we create habits? Why is this a part of human nature? I'm not a psychologist, so don't, come after me with a whole bunch of academic research. But I am a person that participates and contributes actively in people's lives that want to make significant changes. And the reason we create habits is because, yes, thank you, Carrie, small changes. And that has become a little bit of a slogan term. Small changes really add up. And it's true, but people aren't listening to it because they want the big, significant chunks done. I'm here to suggest, and I believe our coaches are here to suggest to you that it's okay to take a minute if you're in your mid-20s, your mid-30s, your mid-40s. It doesn't matter. It's okay to take a minute to really focus on your future and your long term. And if it's going to take 6 months to identify those small, minuscule habits, why not do it right now? Why not identify those now? Why not have a team behind you to help you identify those goals so that your next decade in life, you don't have to worry about those habits that you've just been reinforcing and reinforcing. So back to why do we develop habits? It's very simple. It's to keep us safe. We do it because it's safe for us. We don't have to actively, mentally engage in something that we're doing. So we're actually creating a step back from our action and our mental state, our action and our sense of being, because we're choosing to check out because it's safe. Now, that's a little extreme and a little harsh, but I just have a limited time here in this broadcast. But the idea is we create habits to keep us safe, even if we create habits that are not healthy for us. They're still intended at some point to keep us safe. So again, the overall arching idea is that it is totally possible to change habits. And we are here to help you break them down into those bite-sized nuggets, to those little tiny pieces. And the best way, to change a habit is to replace it with another one. Very simple. Let's just say, for example, that you like to snack on sunflower seeds, right? Well, nutritionally, when we're talking a half a bag, you just snack on, right? Well, what if we could replace that in increments with something else? Then you've improved your health, your well-being, your cholesterol, and you've replaced a habit. But these are the things that we can help you do. It doesn't always have to be one thing at one time, but just the self-acknowledgement of what a habit is, what your environment is. This is why we are here. We are here to help you succeed. We're here to break things down, not be a quick fix. But there can be a positive fix. That is the good news. So please come find out more information right here on Facebook. Please come find out more information on our website, myhealthstyleapp.com. You will also find an email address there that you can email questions, info@myhealthstyleinc.com. And you can always join us here on Facebook Live at 6:30. We have some exciting events or people to interview coming up. We have a wonderful guest called Breakfast at Bella coming up, and she is actually a startup company herself, and she's in the United Kingdom, and she is creating breakfast in a jar. And she's developed a wonderful granola, and you can your breakfast in a jar. So it's meal prepping, if you will, with her wonderful recipes and excellent nutrition, and have a ready breakfast that you can take to go if you eat at work or work shifts, what have you. And then in addition, in April, we have Ask Mom RN, who is a registered nurse. She's a podcaster and a radio host, and she helps with, she gives advice to family health issues, wellness issues, and she will be joining us also for an interview. So, hope you enjoyed our little talk about habits. Not a whole bunch of, I didn't want to download a whole bunch of psychological information and PowerPoint presentation to you. It's very simple. Understand what a habit is, understand how we may be thinking it's way bigger than it really is, and how we can help. Or if you just follow and interact with us, you'll begin to start observing and learning how to break it down into smaller bite-sized chunks that are totally tackable and totally changeable. So thank you very much for joining us. Again, apologies for the technology issues. Check us out, myhealthstyleapp.com, and join us here always on Facebook and Facebook Live. Appreciate it. Have a great evening.